What were you the god of again?
Hi everyone, this is Chris here, and welcome again to another one of my movie reviews. And today I'm going to be reviewing Thor Ragnarok, the 17th Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, and the first movie of the second blockbuster season of movies for 2017, the winter movie season. And there's been a whole lot of hype for Thor Ragnarok, man, and really deservingly so, because the trailers and marketing for this movie have been so damn good. And it's been really surprising just because when you look at the MCU as a whole, the Thor movies you would rarely find anyone who would say the Thor movies are their favorite. They're usually in people's MCU favorite movies. For me personally, how I feel about them, I actually like the second Thor movie better than the first. A lot of people say Thor: The Dark World is the worst MCU movie. I don't agree with that. I thought the first movie was a lot worse. The first movie is one of the only MCU movies I don't like. That movie and Iron Man 2. I actually thought Thor: The Dark World was okay. At least that one gave me some cool sort of fantasy action and adventure, where the first movie was just a boring adventure in Albuquerque. But getting away from those movies, this movie, Thor Ragnarok, has just looked so damn good. Like I said, the trailers have been some of the best of 2017, and the posters and the artwork they did for this movie was just amazing. I mean, if you look at the poster or the wallpaper behind me, which is of the main poster, it's just so damn good. And really getting into the movie itself, I gotta say that nothing about it surprised me. Just because it didn't surprise me how much fun this movie was, man. For me, this movie, it was exactly what it was marketed to be, which was just a really fun adventure. Because that's what those trailers were, man. The trailers were saying, okay, we know the Thor movies haven't been so great, but here's a really new take on the Thor movies, really focusing on sort of the fantasy, cosmic adventure, and just creatures and whatnot. And that's what this movie was, man. And really getting from all of that, really what makes this movie so damn good, or really the linchpin, I'll say the best thing, is that the characters are just so damn good, man. I mean, I'm going to do a rundown of all the characters, or the main ones in this movie. Thor, obviously, man, Chris Hemsworth, he owns this role. He's just got such great comedy timing. And him as a hero, man, this movie really made Thor, sort of elevated him in my Avengers rankings, because my favorite is Captain America, and a few other guys like Iron Man and Black Widow. But this movie really made Thor shine, man. I really like the dynamic of him having to be a hero without his hammer. So that was a really good dynamic. And Loki, it was great to see him again, because he's sort of been missing. So we haven't seen him since Thor: The Dark World 2013, and a lot's happened in the MCU since then. But he was great, man. Hiddleston, again, like Hemsworth, owns this role. Just so damn good. The way they use his character, what his character's always up to, sort of the comedy that they do, just the lines he has. It's just great, man. So I love Loki in this movie. Valkyrie was good, played by Tessa Thompson. She was a good new character. Some nice dynamics with her and Thor, what her backstory was all about. That was good. But a main player of the Avengers team is the Hulk. And it was great to see the way they used him, man. A great new spin on the Hulk. I love the fact that this isn't a spoiler. We see that this is a more intelligent version of the Hulk. He can actually make full sentences now. And that was great to see, man, because now you can really do more with the Hulk rather than him being just some raging, growling monster, which that was good in the previous films, but now it's great to see something different. And I can't wait to see them keep using this version of the Hulk. But the character I was really excited for was Hela, the new villain of this movie, the goddess of death. She's more like the goddess of knives, because that's what her power is, was just creating knives and swords and just flinging people. But whatever. She was really interesting, man. First of all, I love Cate Blanchett as Hela. She was great in the movie. I love sort of her look and sort of the way she performed. That was all good. But I just love her look, man. Her look is just so damn cool. The way her costume is, the way the horns are, or the helmet with the antlers or whatever they are. It's just such a cool visual dynamic with that character. So I love what they did with her in terms of the look. And you definitely see that she means business, man. She goes ahead and she means business when she's coming to Asgard. So she can definitely kick a lot of ass. Like I said, she's got swords up her ass which she can just throw at people. So that was cool. So she was definitely a good villain, definitely one of the better ones in the MCU so far. And really, the movie. So, like I said, the characters are the best thing about this movie, and all the other stuff is great too. I mean, like any MCU movie, it's got plenty of comedy, so that's good. Visuals were nice, the action was great. The major set piece was that Thor Hulk battle, which did not disappoint. I absolutely loved that battle. I was like the actual arena crowd, just because when it was coming up, I was getting so hyped for it, and thankfully that fight definitely delivered. It looked great in 3D too. Not all the 3D works in the movie. It works mainly for those action sequences. There's some times where the 3D wasn't really working too well, but not really a major complaint. Just saying 3D was sort of off and on. And getting into that, I'll get into my negatives of the movie. Now, I saw some reviews calling this the best Marvel movie, and the most boldest Marvel movie. I don't know if I'll go that far. I think the Captain America sequels were better than this one was perfectly in terms of being the best and boldest MCU movie. That belongs to Winter Soldier, definitely still. But for this movie, in terms of the negatives, like I said, not perfect. I think one of the things that sort of bothered me through it was that I was really enjoying the movie, but I didn't like how Hela was a little underused, specifically in the middle of the movie. She has some connections to Thor and Loki and Odin, which in case that's a spoiler, I'm not going to go into what that connection is. But I just thought throughout the middle of the movie, she could have been in it more. And I get the story is what it was. She's ruling Asgard, so it's not like it's going to be some adventure where they're chasing her all around the place. But I just would have liked to see her more in the movie, because if she was, she definitely might have been probably the best MCU villain, and probably even better than Loki was in the first Avengers movie. So that was a little disappointing, even though she was definitely still a really good villain. She could have been in it more, and that would have made her just the best villain in the MCU, which is what I was hoping for going by those trailers. And like any MCU movie, I feel like this one had a little bit too much comedy. I mean, that's something you can say for any MCU movie, where there are just some times where the comedy is just a little much. We're like, let's get a little bit more serious, you know? We don't need comedy in every single scene. There was this rock guy, I can't believe what his name was, he's another alien. He's really funny, but there are some times where his stuff is just a little bit too much. But like I said, you can say that about any MCU movie. Besides the Captain America movies, those are the only ones where the comedy definitely isn't a problem. But overall, this was a really, really fun MCU adventure, man. Definitely easily the best Thor movie. Not really saying much, but hey, it is. But I was really happy that it was a major improvement from those movies. It was just a fun adventure that delivered on what I wanted to see. So I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, I don't agree with some of the reviews that this is the best MCU movie. I wouldn't go that far, but it's definitely a whole lot of fun, man. It's definitely a crowd-pleasing movie. You can definitely have a lot of fun with these characters, and it's just another MCU fun adventure. And it really doesn't surprise me when MCU movies are good. I mean, it's an outlier when one's bad. Like I said, the only MCU movie, Marvel Cinematic Universe movies I don't like are Iron Man 2 and Thor 2. And this definitely was not those. And the movie delivered on 1 and 2, so I was definitely happy for that. As for what comes in the MCU in the future, this isn't really a spoiler. I thought there would be a little bit more teasing to Avengers Infinity War, which obviously comes out next year. I thought there'd be a bit more setup for that one, even though there is still some. Not as much as I thought there would be, but I guess that's good, so this movie can sort of stand as its own adventure. And actually, one thing I didn't mention is that this actually does work well as sort of the final Thor movie we're going to see, because I don't know if we're ever going to get another Thor standalone movie. This movie definitely is bold in terms of the direction it goes with sort of the Thor universe and sort of the things and his sort of circle things and how things develop. So I think it works good as the final Thor movie. So that's another good positive I'll mention. And yeah, anyway, just in final, just go see it because it's a really, really fun adventure. So anyways, that's my thoughts on Thor Ragnarok. I hope y'all enjoyed this review. Leave your comments and tell me what you thought of the movie if you've seen it. And I will see y'all around with another video.